What's wrong with this? Something's missing. We're missing capitalization. We're missing punctuation. We're missing commas. It's hard to tell where one thought ends and another one begins. Okay? And it'd be very difficult if we read the English language like this. Okay? We have the same thing in music, except we solve it a little bit different way. This is our punctuation right here. These lines. Okay? This organizes our music into smaller sections like sentences. Okay? So this right here is a measure. This is a measure. That's a measure. That's a measure. A measure is our smallest grouping of music. Okay? We know a measure because it starts and ends with a bar line. Okay? So we start the first measure. When we get to the end of the first measure, there's a bar line, and then a new measure starts right there. At the very end of the song, not necessarily at the end of the line, but when the song is over, we put a special bar line there called a double bar. All right, so this one has a thicker line on the right side. This means the song's over, stop playing. Don't do anything past this point. Now, the next concept is one that a lot of beginners struggle with. You just have to memorize what it is. Okay? This is called the time signature. It looks like a fraction, okay, but it's not. It has a number on top and a number on bottom. And just like your numerator and denominator, they both do different things. Okay? So let's talk about the top number first. The top number answers the question, how many? How many beats are in each measure? Okay, I've named the beats here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see that there are 4 beats in this measure. Okay, so that's what that top number tells us. How many beats are in each measure? These measures have 4. If I change the time signature, if I put a 3 on top, then now I can only put 3 beats in a measure. Okay, and in this time signature, there's a 2 on top, so we can only get 2 beats per measure. Okay, so if I'm in 2/4, I go 1 beat, 2 beat, and then I have to draw a bar line and start a new measure. Okay, so that's what the top number does. It answers the question, how many? How many beats? Notice I did not use the word notes in there one time. So without changing the number of beats, I'm going to change what the rhythm looks like. Okay, I now have 8 eighth notes in this measure, but still I only have 4 beats. Okay, this number didn't change to 8. There are still 4 beats in this measure. Okay, I can change these to 16th notes, and now I have 16 notes in this measure, but only 4 beats. So this top number is not about how many notes there are, it's about how many beats. Okay, so how do I know how long a beat is? How do I know that this quarter note is 1 beat? How do I know that this 8th note is half of a beat, or that these 16th notes are just a fourth of a beat? So the answer to that question is the bottom number. Okay? The bottom number doesn't tell us how many, it tells us what kind. You need to remember what kind of note. The bottom number asks the question, what kind of note gets 1 beat? Now, for almost everything we do this year, the answer is going to be the quarter note. Okay? So, why is there a 4 on the bottom? Well, think about the fraction 1/4, 1/4. What's another way to say 1/4? If you have 1/4 of a dollar, what do you have? And the answer is you have a quarter. A quarter and a fourth means the same thing. So when you see 4, think quarter note. So the bottom number is asking us what kind of note gets 1 beat, and the answer is a quarter note. So that's why each one of these quarter notes is worth 1 beat. Okay? So, bottom number, what kind of note gets the beat? Answer, quarter note. Top number, how many beats in a measure? Answer, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. New bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we start counting over. Okay, same thing here. Quarter note gets the beat, 3 beats in a measure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I get to my final bar and I'm done. Last one, 2 beats in a measure. Quarter note gets the beat. Each of these quarter notes is 1 beat long, and I've got 2 beats in a measure. 1, 2, 1, 2. New bar, 1, 2. Bar line, 1, 2, and then double bar.